This is the 8th video in a series of 17 videos exploring the book. The Power of Discipline: How to Use Self-Control and Mental Toughness to Achieve Your Goals, by Daniel Walter. In this video, we're going to talk about Chapter 8, Get Comfortable with Being Uncomfortable. When we talk about prosperity, especially after the age of 40, there's a truth that few people like to hear. Growth is uncomfortable. There is no prosperity without discomfort. There is no new beginning without crossing the rough terrain of discipline. Most people want a better life, but few are willing to pay the invisible price of transformation. The price of enduring the temporary discomfort that separates the old self from the new one. And that's exactly what Daniel Walter discusses in this chapter: the art of feeling comfortable with discomfort. Think about it. Every time you decide to change something in your financial life, cutting an expense, organizing your bills, investing, studying, or letting go of immediate pleasures, you're disrupting habits deeply rooted in your brain. These habits are like mental waves. They rise strong and tempting, promising relief, pleasure, and instant comfort. But just like a wave, they also pass. The problem is that most people try to fight discomfort, and when you fight a wave, it knocks you down. The wisdom lies in learning how to surf, and that's the core idea behind urge surfing. Surfing an impulse means observing the desire without being carried away by it. It's feeling the urge to buy something unnecessary, and instead of giving in, simply watching the sensation grow and then fade away. It's understanding that hunger, fear, or anxiety are just chemical waves moving through the body. And if you observe them without reacting, they lose their power over you. The same thing happens with money. How many times have you wanted to spend just to ease an emotion, or given up on a plan because the discomfort felt too big? After 40, this becomes even clearer, because by then, we've collected experiences, beliefs, and emotional scars that shape our relationship with effort and reward. But it's here, precisely in this stage of life, that discomfort becomes our best teacher. Financial discipline, at its core, is the training of tolerating the discomfort of saying no to impulse and yes to purpose. It's resisting the temptation of an immediate purchase to invest in your future. It's feeling the unease of learning something new, changing habits, facing fears, and still moving forward. Prosperity doesn't happen in comfort. Comfort is the territory of what already exists. Prosperity lives beyond it. Every expansion demands walking through discomfort, because that's where you stop being who you were and start becoming who you're meant to be. Imagine this: every time you feel uncomfortable, your brain is being reprogrammed. The neural connections that held your old patterns together begin to dissolve, and new ones start to form. But this process creates resistance. That's why so many people give up in the middle of the journey, not because they're incapable, but because they mistake discomfort for failure. Discomfort isn't the end. It's the sign that you're growing. Walter highlights an essential point. Discomfort is a training ground. Each time you face a challenge and don't run from it, you're strengthening the invisible muscle of self-discipline. And that muscle is the same one that sustains prosperity. Because to prosper requires consistency. And consistency is what maturity calls discipline. After 40, we learn that life doesn't change through promises, but through practice. And the practice of prosperity begins in small actions: resisting impulse, enduring productive boredom, investing when others are afraid, believing even when results haven't appeared yet. Maybe you're going through a moment of financial rebuilding. Maybe you feel like everything demands too much effort, but that effort isn't punishment. It's birth. You're being reborn into a new phase of life, and every birth, before anything else, is uncomfortable. The secret is not to run away. Observe the discomfort. Breathe with it. Walk with it. You'll notice that over time, what once felt unbearable becomes natural. The mind matures, the heart grows stronger, and discipline stops feeling like a burden. It becomes power. An interesting point in this chapter is what Walter calls urge surfing. He explains that when a desire arises, whether it's to give up, to spend, to procrastinate, or to give in, the best thing isn't to fight it, but to observe it until it fades. Desire, like a wave, has a cycle. It rises, grows, peaks, and then disappears. If you observe it without acting on it, it loses strength. But if you fight it, it feeds on your resistance and grows stronger. The same happens with financial scarcity. When you try to run from it, it follows you. When you face it, learn from it, and change your behavior, it loses its hold over you. Prosperity begins when we stop running and start observing. Observing our impulses, our patterns, our emotions. Do you want to prosper? Then learn to surf your own inner waves. When fear comes, breathe. When boredom comes, persist. When doubt comes, observe. Every emotion is temporary, but decisions made with awareness are lasting. Daniel Walter also says that practicing discomfort strengthens the emotional brain. He compares an impulse to a wave and self-control to a surfboard. You can't stop the wave, but you can learn to balance on it. This metaphor is powerful for anyone rebuilding their financial life. You can't control the market, the government, or external circumstances, but you can control your posture toward them. Discomfort is inevitable, but suffering is optional. And in maturity, the secret to prosperity is choosing to grow through discomfort, not escape it. After 40, life has already taught us that shortcuts come with a price. We know that nothing solid is built overnight. That's why, at this stage, discipline becomes our greatest asset. Not money, not time, but the ability to stay. Think about it. Every time you choose to persist, you are training your brain to trust you. And self-trust is the foundation of prosperity. Because when you believe you can handle discomfort, you also believe you can handle the journey towards success. Maybe the secret of maturity is understanding that discomfort is a disguised ally. It comes to test, refine, and strengthen you. And when you embrace it, it stops being an obstacle and becomes a bridge. So, the next time you feel the weight of discipline, when you have to say no to a purchase, yes to learning, or wait to a temptation, remember this: you're not suffering, you're growing. You're training the invisible muscle that sustains all prosperity. True financial freedom begins when discomfort stops paralyzing you and starts propelling you forward. And when you reach that point, you'll discover that prosperity is less about what you achieve and more about who you become. If you want a prosperous life after 40, learn to feel comfortable with discomfort. It's not your enemy. It's life inviting you to the next level. Breathe, observe, surf the wave. And when it passes, and it always does, you'll be stronger, more aware, and closer to your true prosperity. If this video added value to your life, give it a like, share it with friends, drop a comment below, and subscribe with notifications on. You can also enjoy the extra content I left in the first pinned comment below.